Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today as we're going to talk about what educational and training opportunities are coming up for our member credit unions at LSCU, as well as leverage clients this coming year. And before I get started, I wanted to ask you something really quick and ask you to put something in the chat. So I wanted to ask you, do you have leadership training needs this coming year? Yes or no? And then if you do, what level of leadership training do you need at your credit union? Do you need beginner, intermediate, more advanced, or all of the above? Oh, it looks like it's saying the chat is disabled. Oh, no. Christina's able to put something in here. She said, yes, all of the above. All right. So for a lot of credit unions, the executive level and the higher up in management you get a little bit more educational opportunities for leadership training. But we're going to talk about some other leadership training as well today. We're going to move forward and I'll introduce myself. My name is Maureen Bach, and I am the Vice President of Education and Training at LSCU. And we're going to talk about leadership training, but we're also going to talk about all sorts of other educational opportunities that LSU is offering to credit unions this year. So I am going to start with leadership. It's a subject that is very dear to my heart. I know that myself, for my staff, and I've worked at a credit union as well, 2 credit unions actually, in the past, as well as a corporate for credit unions. I've been with the league now for going on 27 years. And I've had a lot of opportunity to see a lot of different levels of leadership training. And I got my opportunity to go through what's typically called CUNA Management School or Credit Union Management School. And I graduated back in 2017. That program is incredible. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And LSCU has been offering for probably about 5 years now a program called Leadership College. And in addition to Leadership College, last year we added a new program called Executive Institute. And this year we're launching another new program for emerging leaders. So I'm going to go through what each of these programs are and how they benefit your staff, yourself, your credit union. So our 2024 Emerging Leaders Academy, one of the things we realized when we did Leadership College, we had everything from brand new supervisors who've never had a day of leadership training, all the way up to CFOs of credit unions in this training. And we realized that there was a need for an earlier step of training and really leading up to folks that are not quite in a true management position yet, but these are the people that you want to train, your emerging leaders. So we've created this program with ServiceStar. This is the same company that we work with for Leadership College. Mike Neal is very well known in the credit union space as a great trainer of leaders, and we use him for Leadership College. We have one of his colleagues that's equally amazing, who's going to be running our Emerging Leaders program. And it's going to be a 5-month, all virtual program. And it's really designated for the staff that you consider to be a high potential moving into supervisory and leadership opportunities. It could be, a senior MSR that is going into a supervisory role. It could be an assistant branch manager, someone who's new to those type of roles, someone who's been around for a little while but needs some skill training. And it really is going to help them develop themselves so that they can lead people in its processes, projects, whatever it is that you have at your credit union more effectively. And the session, we have got an opportunity for the session in third and fourth quarter. And registration is gonna open up in February. It starts in July. What's nice is having something like this all virtual. You don't have to send your staff to a physical location. It really is just giving them the time to do this virtual training. The nice thing too is you've got people from our entire footprint. And then also we have it open for leverage clients as well. So it's not just LSU credit unions. It's also open to leverage clients outside of our states. That's a really neat program that we've, just put together, and we think it's a good base to lead into our very popular leadership college. This is the program that I was referring to that we've had for the last few years. And it's a 6-month program. It's hybrid. So the first event is in person, and we do have it divided up in all 3 states. So if you're in Florida, you would be with a group in Florida. Georgia, you'd be with your Georgia folks. Alabama and Alabama. So that's how they start. Then they go virtual classes all the way up until the last class. And the last class and their graduation ceremony will happen the day that we start our vision conference in Sandestin. So we're hoping that creates an opportunity for some of those folks that go through that program to be able to stay. They get a discount to attend the vision conference. It's an incredible program. We have had such a commitment to this program at LSU. One of the things that we've done is we've routinely put anywhere from 8 to about 15 of our staff through this program. And I believe this year we've got maybe 8 or 9 going through the program. So it really is anybody who is a new manager, an existing manager or supervisor that needs this type of training. And it really is the next level of enhancing their leadership ability and possibly preparing them for the next step, which could be moving up to a more senior level at the credit union. These sessions run from February to August. As I said, the first and last meeting are in person, and everything else is virtual for that program. Mike Neal is amazing. I just have to say, you would think I'm biased, and I'm not, I promise, because I look at surveys. I really rely on survey data to tell other credit unions what credit unions that have gone through these programs, what do they really think of these programs? I know our staff raves about the Leadership College and credit unions. Like, we have really, really high ratings, pretty much almost 100%. Like, I would refer it to someone else. And those referrals are very important. So if you check out on our website on the education and training page and go into the Leadership College website itself, there are testimonials and information from folks who've attended these classes. Not just me saying that people have enjoyed it and gotten a lot out of it. And then if you look at the pathway, you start out with emerging leaders, you go into Leadership College, and then you look at the Circus program. So the credit union management school. I'll tell you, we've got a call coming up later this week. I'm on the advisory committee for this school. This is the school that has been going for over 50 years. It does offer a hybrid program, and by hybrid, there is pre-work done before you get to the college campus at UGA in Athens. And I've been through this program. It's 3 years. Is there anybody else that's on here who has been through credit union management school or Circus specifically in Georgia? All right, Trish, thank you. Trish Payne raised her hand. Trish, do you recommend it? Would you tell me and tell other folks through a thumbs up or something if this is something you'd recommend? Yep, she raised her hand again. She recommends it. So Trish is at Geo Vista Credit Union in, they're based in Hinesville, not too far from Savannah, Georgia, on the coast. And this program is incredible. It's great for you to invest. It is not an inexpensive program. I would say it costs probably in the neighborhood of $10,000 for all 3 years. So it's an investment program. And this is what I taught the credit unions about. Don't look at it as an expense. It's an investment. It's an investment in some of your top people. And it teaches you how a credit union runs or how to run a credit union from absolutely A to Z. It is an immersive experience with the opportunity to be around people in our region, which is about 10 states that typically go to this, but there are people outside of our region that go as well. One of the things to know about this program is there's 4 schools in the US. There's one in California, one in Texas, one in Wisconsin, that CUNA is involved with and has a part in all of these. And then the one we have here in the Southeast. Currently, the program in Madison is the only one that gives the CCUE, Certified Credit Union Executive certification. But we do believe that that is potentially about to change. So I've got a committee meeting this week with the trustees of our school in Georgia to find out a little bit more. We have been doing a lot of research about this program starting certification starting this year. And so I hope when we announce our registration is open to this, we will have the announcement of whether or not that's been chosen to move forward. But that is definitely something that credit unions have been asking for is, you know, if I'm going to send my staff to this, I'd be interested in the opportunity to get that designation rather than having to send them to the Madison school. It's an incredible school. We have about 50 to 60 first-time students every year. And I just can't say enough about it. I mean, if you're interested in it, I've got my contact information here. I won't belabor it anymore here, but I would love to talk to you about it. And I could definitely explain why I feel like that this is such a valuable school for folks. And then we've got our Executive Institute. So if you think about it, if prep school is emerging leaders, and then you're going to college, and then you go through an intensive program, almost like an MBA, in how to run a credit union and what is a credit union from A to Z. In the Circus program, this is also like another MBA or maybe even a PhD in education. So the Executive Institute, we did not have anything really for C-suite specifically. Samantha Beeler, who is our president, who's been here 2 years, she spent time with about 100 credit unions in her first 90 days. And what she heard from them was, we want to see more C-suite content. We want to see more things that are for the C-suite. And so we developed this program with that in mind. So we partnered with Dr. Brandy Stankovic. So Brandy is well known also in just the credit union circles and the credit union world. She was just voted into the Her Story Credit Union Museum exhibit, which is really like the Hall of Fame for credit union women. She is amazing. She is a fun and exciting and very knowledgeable trainer. She makes training and spending time in development fun. Everybody who went through the program raved about it last year. It was our first year. We were in pilot. It was incredible. I had somebody who went through the program who basically was, you know, a VP in his organization, and he's decided that he wants to move into the C-suite and he would like to actually be the CEO one day. And really don't know that he would have found that path for himself had it not been for this program. So it's been really, really good for the folks that went through it, and powerful and even life-changing. So the program offers a certification in organizational design and change management. And it's a hybrid program. So it does start in April in person. It will also meet right before the Vision Conference in August. Excuse me. In Sandestin. To say that Brandy is and I apologize, I've got a little bit of sinus stuff going on. To say that Brandy is a dynamic facilitator, I feel like that's even an understatement. She is captivating. We have all been through trainings and sessions that are boring. We've all been through them. She keeps it going. She keeps people in the mode of learning. She really does a lot of cross collaboration with participants in the program, which I think is so important. Excuse me, guys. One of the most important things, I think, when you go to something like this at an executive level, and it could be anybody from VPs and up. We've had even CEOs go through this. They learn as much from each other as they do in the content that they're studying, because they do get to share personal things about themselves. So they do get to know each other, but they get to share things about their credit unions and what their credit unions are doing. And that type of information and collaboration, it just cannot even be replicated easily in these type of settings. So it's very, very valuable for folks. Okay, enough about the leadership programs. We'll talk about some other things. So we've got what we call our signature events, and they are some of our larger in-person events in a year. Our state advocacy conferences have started. You might have noticed that Florida is starting today. So we've got Florida the next couple of days. Next week, we're in Georgia. And in April, we're in Alabama. And I will say, state advocacy conferences are so important. And let me explain why. We need to show the legislators that we have got the credit union voice together and behind us. Even though our staff is excellent and we're lobbying at the state level and federal, we cannot do it alone. We have got to have credit union voices. And as we're trying to defend harmful legislation, and we're going to work to pass helpful legislation, we've got to have credit unions. We've got to have credit unions in the room, got to have credit unions there at these events to show the governor, because most of the time we do get a photo op with the governor, and to show the legislators that show up and speak at these events and come to the receptions that we are collaborating together, that we're working together, and that we're protecting our resources for credit unions on the legislative and regulatory levels. So I would encourage you, we definitely want to see CEOs at these events. And if they can't come, we understand, but please designate other folks to come for you all the way into your young professional group. Definitely ones that have an interest in the political system and protecting credit unions on that political level, legislative, regulatory level. Okay, enough about the state advocacy conferences. We've got our large credit union CEO executive dialogue. It's for roughly 500 million and up credit unions, and that is at Bonita Springs in March. This is an opportunity for large asset size credit unions to roundtable discuss lots of different topics and If anybody has any questions about that, please let me know. That event is open for registration on our website. And we just launched our council conference and SCUSY, our largest event of the year. So our council conference routinely gets over 100 credit union attendees. It's the day before we start our largest event of the year, SCUSY. And that's on June 11th. The registration for that is included with the SCUSY registration. It's a separate dollar figure, but they're all together. And you can register for SCUSY and the council conference together on the SCUSY site. SCUSY is the 12th through the 14th, and this event in the last few years has attracted over 1,100 people. Credit unions, we've had about close to 700 credit union folks, and we've got probably one of the largest exhibit halls in the country, which is shocking to me. We've had some folks, we've talked to some other leagues that are, larger than us, that have more states than we do. And some of them, we even have a larger exhibit hall than they do. And so we have usually about 170 or more exhibitors that are there. So come, the content's going to be incredible. This is something that I'm personally very involved in, this event. Our keynote speakers this year are some of the ones that I'm the most excited about in recent years. I'm just thrilled. We're going to have an incredible speaker in the beginning. We're starting on Wednesday, which is different for us. We have educational content on Wednesday, and our kickoff is Wednesday afternoon. We have a great motivational speaker who is just going to blow your socks off. And then we've got additional sessions on Thursday. Again, if you look at the speaker lineup, you'll understand it's great. We've got great breakouts. We have more breakouts that have been confirmed that are just being added to the SCUSY site. And then our closing keynote is the basketball and math coach who was the inspiration for the character of Ted Lasso. So he was actually the guy, Jason Sudeikis, who plays Ted Lasso. It was his coach growing up, and that's what he based the character on. And Donnie Campbell's going to be with us. It's going to be really cool. So that's SCUSY. Our Vision Conference. Last year was the first year we did Vision, and I will say it was almost as close to perfect of an event as I've ever seen. It was, the credit unions loved it. The surveys were very highly rated. It was incredible. It's at Hilton Sandestin in Miramar Beach, Florida. Not a bad place to be in August, getting towards the end of summer. It is open also to leverage clients as well. But this conference is, putting together what was our old in Georgia Idea Institute and SLDC, the Leadership Development Conference from LSU, kind of putting those together and just reimagining this event. And it really is about, this is an event where you focus, everything that we're talking about is future focused. So I'll tell you a couple of the speakers and the topics. The future of digital finance is going to be taught, and a speaker is going to be talking about that. And she is the head of this, so she actually created the Association of Women in Cryptocurrency. She is an attorney from Washington, D.C., and her credentials are incredible, and I cannot wait to hear this session. She's going to talk about the future of digital finance. We've got somebody who's going to talk about ChatGPT, AI, and beyond. And then we have a really, really great speaker. He was the leader of the Hotshot Fire Rescue team, and he went up on the mountain with his team, and during one of the really bad fires, he lost his entire team. It's a very compelling story, so much so that they made a movie about it. It starred Josh Brolin, called Only the Brave. And so he's going to be our closer. So Vision Conference, is going to have a lot of discussion about the future, technology. Last year and again this year, we're going to have a Shark Tank. So we're going to have probably 4 to 5 companies that will get up and present their topic. And guess what? Everybody in the audience, you're the sharks. And you get to vote and you get to decide who wins. So that's really fun. The quality of the presentations last year blew me away. They were amazing. And the winner is actually speaking at SCUSY this year, the CEO of Glide, in one of our breakout sessions. So Vision Conference has got a lot of interesting things for anyone at your credit union that is looking forward. So it could be senior management. You may have board members that want to attend. That's an incredible event. And then we added a couple of other events last year, brand new. Again, I mentioned Samantha found that credit unions were asking for C-suite content. So we did our first C-suite summit this past year at the end of 23, and we've got it in October of this year in Savannah, which I think is going to be an incredible location. The hotel is my favorite, the Alita, and we have got a lot of fun things planned. And the opportunity to get that group together in surveys and the discussions that I had with the 50 or so people that were at that event this past year this is exactly what we need. We need an event where we can get together as C-suite, get to know each other. Some people in the 3-state region, even since we've had the merger, it's been since 2019, but then we had COVID. And we really didn't get the opportunity for people to connect and get to know each other. There's new people in credit unions, people have moved up, people have retired, and things have changed. So having this kind of a focused group discussion, high level topics that are really for people in the C-suite it's a great opportunity. Not a bad location. It's going to be really nice. And then last but not least, the Inspire Conference. So we are having the Inspire Conference. It started this year in Atlanta. It was my favorite event of the year, I'll say. It was powerful. It was moving. It was exhilarating. There was just a lot of positivity to the Inspire Conference. So it's the opportunity to take our Global Women's Leadership Network sister societies of Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, and take all of the women in our 3-state region and have a conference just for them. We are opening it up to leverage clients as well. And we may even be partnering with some other leagues that are interested in this event also. And it's in Tampa, Florida in November. I'll tell you, there's a whole week after this before we get to Thanksgiving week. So Thanksgiving's a little bit later, just in case you wanted to know. And there is something else going on that will be paired with Inspire that I'll be talking about next. But this event is incredible, great speakers, great leadership topics. We got so much feedback this past year on what they want to hear this coming year. And I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be just amazing. We had about 125 attendees this past year. I think we will probably be much larger this year, as everyone that was surveyed said that they will come next year and they do plan to bring more people. And we did have some people that couldn't make it for different reasons that are coming. So the Inspire Conference is really an amazing event. Okay, so we've got, in the vein of, we can't just keep doing the same things we're doing. We got to keep mixing in some new things. It's a new but an old concept of an event. Learning journeys. So in Georgia in particular, in the past, we were used to doing domestic and international learning journeys every few years. So Samantha and I have been talking about this, and she really wants to bring folks to where she came from. And, being from the Northwest and her credit union that was 3 states before she came to us, she knows some incredibly amazing credit unions that are doing just cutting edge things. So this is an opportunity for credit union executives and management to go out together as a group of probably 20 to 25 and go on a learning journey and go visit credit unions out in the Northwest. I know we're going to be in Washington State. We're definitely looking at maybe a side trip to Idaho because there's some interesting things going on there. We don't have the itinerary completely built out. So once we have more information about that, you'll know. But our plan is to do a U.S. learning journey for about a week this year, and then leading up to an international learning journey next year. And more information will be shared about that at SCUSY. So I mentioned that there was something else that was going to be with Inspire, and that this is it. We are going to have a Children's Miracle Network fundraiser event. It's going to be the CMN Night of Miracles. It's going to be in Tampa. We've actually changed the date since I built this slide. It's going to be Wednesday. So it's going to be Wednesday, November 13th in Tampa, right before the Inspire conference. And more information is going to be coming out about this, but it's going to be a fundraiser for medical debt relief for families. And we've called it Healing Finances One Bill at a Time. So more information will be coming about that. We hope that folks that would come to Night of Miracles would stay for the Inspire conference. And we hope the Inspire attendees also will participate in this. They will be, close by each other, if not in the same location in Tampa. So very excited about that, and an opportunity for credit unions to come together and again, collaborate in our whole region, our 3 states, to do something together collaboratively, larger than we could do individually for CU for Kids and for Children's Miracle Network. More on that in the future. Okay, we're running, got quite a lot talked about, but I've got a couple more things to mention to you. We also have a council program at LSCU, and it went through a little bit of a change in this past year. We did sunset the CEO council because honestly, we give CEOs more than they can say grace over when it comes to chances to get together and educational things. So we ended up putting together payments and technology into one council and launched an HR council. Our first event that's going to be in February for the HR council is open to anybody who's in any of the councils. And we do have an incredible labor law attorney, Bill Krishner, from the Tallahassee area that will be leading the presentation at that event. There's a couple of presenters. So definitely check out our council programs. Join today. Make sure that you've got staff at your credit union if they're not members, that they join as well. And also, if you can attend the council conference at SCUSY, that is going to be an excellent way to network with council members and get some very targeted educational sessions and opportunities to collaborate with folks that are in your job function at the credit union. Virtual events, we are almost sold out on our branch manager training that's coming up. We will be having another one later in the year, so we'll open that one up soon. That sells out every single time we do it. So there's, you think about how many credit unions there are, how many branch managers there are. There's definitely a need for that type of training. We also have opened up our virtual lending school. That is also very, very popular as well. Lending is the engine that fuels income for credit unions. So sorry about that. Our presentation just went kind of crazy there for a second. Let me pull this right back up. to where we were. Sorry about that. My mouse has like a demonic possession sometimes. It just goes forward. Sorry about this. If you're on our education and training page, our landing page, you'll see a click for our calendar. So our calendar is, more than this, it's a couple pages, but it gives you a highlight of what's going on in the year, what's in person, what's virtual. And, we'd love to see you at any of our events that we've got. We do have virtual IRA training that's about to open up. That'll be end of April. And then another one that is usually packed is our BSA workshop. This year, we're expanding it and doing a full compliance and BSA workshop together, May 7th and 8th. Registration to be opening very soon there. And again, I'll leave you with me. I'm Maureen from LSCU. Please email me if you've got any questions or reach out to our education team. And I will stop here and give you guys a quick opportunity. If you've got anything you want to put in the chat, any questions, anyone have anything that they would like to ask before we go today? Not seeing anything. You guys know you can reach out to me directly. Trish definitely knows me, who's in the audience for this. Thank you for letting us at LSU serve your credit unions and help you guys with educational events and sessions. If you have any needs or any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. And thank you guys for being with us today, and have a great rest of your day.